Hello children, today we will deal with another topic in biology standard 6 textbook for class 6, that is NCERT, chapter 2 components of food. So in this video we are dealing with topic 2.1, what do different food items contain, that is on page 8 and 9. Activity 2, test for starch, page 9 and 10. You have to read the textbook thoroughly and study from it. So under chapter 2 we are going to deal with the introduction part. Okay. So if you take your textbook, you have your page 8. We will be dealing with this part today. Now, a meal can consist of food items, isn't it? It can consist of different food items. That is, it can be a grain or rice, for example. It can be meat, chicken, beef, fish. It can be vegetables, like you have your sambar or avial. It can be made of many other things, like you have your additional things like pickle, buttermilk, salt, etc. So a meal can consist of different food items, like an item of grain, meat, dal, vegetables, curd, buttermilk, pickles. Now, why do these meals consist of such distribution of different food items? Now, what does this question mean? Very simply, they are just asking, why is it that we include such a variety of food items in our day-to-day life? Okay, the answer is, our body needs different kinds of food for some special purpose. So your body needs different kinds of food for some special purpose in the body. For that, we will first fill table 2.1. So you take your textbook, turn to page 8. You have your table 2.1, some common meals of different regions or states. So you have your table here. Can you see the region or state? What is the name given there? Punjab. Item of grain, makkei or corn roti, isn't it? Corn roti. So corn is a grain. So an item of grain is included here. Item of meat or dal. So what is written here? Rajma or kidney beans. Dal is what? Nothing but pulses. So which pulse is added here? Kidney beans. Vegetables, sarson saag, that is your mustard leaf curry. Mustard leaf curry. So that is your item of vegetable included here. Others, what is the other food item that is included? You have your curd, isn't it? It's a product from milk, and you have ghee. Now, what is the next region? Andhra Pradesh. Which is the item of grain mostly taken? Rice. Item of dal or meat? Tuvar dal and rasam. Vegetables? Kunduru or dondekai, that is the item of vegetable taken here. What is the other food item taken? Buttermilk, ghee, pickle. Kunduru means it is a vegetable that is ivy gourd. Ivy gourd. So, Kunduru means ivy god, that is the local language, in local language. And you have your pickle, that is Avakkai pickle. Avakkai is nothing but raw mango pickle. And you have your third section which is empty here, isn't it? So, we will be filling this. Please take your pencil and fill it here. Now, the third region that we have taken is Kerala. Now, what is the item of grain? It is rice. Item of meat, we have taken fish. An item of vegetable, we have taken avial, that is your mixed vegetable curry. And alongside we have taken salt and pickle, isn't it? So, you can see from this table there are different regions. In this different regions, different food items are taken. Different food items, that is it can include your cereals, pulses, meat or vegetables and other food items like your salt, pickle, buttermilk, etc. Understood? So, from this section what do we understand? Different food items are taken in a day, isn't it? And the question is, why do we need such different food items? Because our body needs different food items for a special purpose. Okay, we will see what that special purpose is, what is the meaning of this, but just understand this much. Okay. Now, so we move on to the next section. What do food items contain? That is on page 8. So, you take your page 8, you have page 8. 2.1, what do different food items contain? So, we will be looking into this section. So, now a dish is made up of ingredients, isn't it? Last chapter we studied what is the meaning of ingredients. They are nothing but raw materials that are made, that are used to prepare food or a food item, isn't it? So, your food is made up of, or a dish is made up of ingredients. What are its sources? Animal source, plant source. So, you can get your food from plants, you can get your food from animals. The ingredients are made of components needed by a body. So, you remember in the last section I said our body needs different food items for a special purpose. Now, different food items contain different kind of nutrients. So, only if we include a large variety of food items will your body get the required amount of nutrients from that food. So, these components are called nutrients. What is the meaning of the term nutrients? Nutrients means components in food that are needed by the body. So, we need different varieties of food so that our body gets the enough amount of nutrients from that food. So, what are these different nutrients that are needed by the body? So, you can see you have carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, isn't it? So, 5 major nutrients, what are they once again? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Now, it is good that we get all these nutrients from the food, but apart from that there are certain additional items that are needed by our body. Certain additional things that are equally important, but they are not nutrients, but they are equally needed by the body. What are they? You have your dietary fibers and water. So, we will look into the meaning of dietary fiber. Dietary fiber has another name, that is roughage. So, you have dietary fiber or roughage. So, what is the meaning of dietary fiber? Dietary fiber has another name, that is roughage. So, we will look into what is the meaning of this. Basically, dietary fibers are nothing but fibers present in plant and plant products. Basically, they are seen majorly in your plant and plant products like your vegetables, green leafy vegetables, that is an example for roughage. Now, we will look into this section in detail as we go on. For now, just understand this. So, you have 5 major nutrients plus additional items that are equally important and needed by the body. What are they? Dietary fibers and water. Now, are they nutrients, dietary fiber and water? No, but they are equally important by the body. Okay. Now, so the next question that comes up is that, do all food items contain all these nutrients? Now, we can find that out. How? By doing some simple tests. Simple tests are present by which we can test and find out if the food items contain all the nutrients or only some nutrients or mixture of nutrients. Okay. With simple methods, we can test whether cooked food or raw ingredients contain one or more of these nutrients. So, for this purpose, you need to make certain solutions. So, if you need to conduct these tests, you need to prepare certain solutions. So, we will look into the meaning of that. So, basically we will be needing 3 solutions: solution of iodine, solution of copper sulphate, solution of caustic soda. Once again, solution of iodine, solution of copper sulphate, solution of caustic soda. Now, how can we prepare these solutions? So, you have to look into the yellow box of page 9, please mark it as important. So, you take page 9, you can see here, this is the yellow box, you can see different solutions, how can you make it. So, we will be looking into that in detail, please mark that as important, right there, study. So, you might be wondering what is the meaning of this iodine and copper sulphate and caustic soda. They are nothing but chemicals that are available. Now, how do you make dilute solution of iodine? So, what you do, you take a test tube. You must have seen a test tube in the laboratory, a glass test tube. You fill it half with water. So, you take an empty, clean, dry test tube. You fill it half with water. Then you add a few drops of tincture iodine. So, you get a solution labeled tincture iodine. You take 2 drops and add it to your water. What do you get? You get your dilute solution of iodine. So, from the market you can buy your tincture iodine. Okay, from that you take 2 or 3 drops of tincture iodine, you add it in this water that you have taken, you get your dilute solution of iodine. So, we have prepared this and we are keeping it aside. Okay. So, later on we will see why we made these solutions. So, we are going to use this in the test that we are going to conduct later. So, we have already prepared dilute solution of iodine. So, next we are going to make copper sulfate solution. So, you get from the pharmaceuticals, you get your copper sulfate. You are not supposed to do it at home. Okay, you need to be very careful around the chemicals. So, I am just explaining how we make it, so that we understand that the next time you do the test for starch or fat, you understand how this solution was prepared. Okay. So, you take copper sulfate solution, you take 2 grams of copper sulfate. So, what do you take? You weigh 2 grams of what? Copper sulfate. Next, what do? You take 100 ml of water. 2 gram of copper sulfate in a small bowl you took. You took 100 ml of water in a beaker or a vessel, glass vessel, and then you added this copper sulfate 2 grams in 100 ml of water. What do you get? You dissolve it, isn't it? Isn't it like you put sugar in water or you put salt in water and you mix it nicely, that is dissolving. So, like that, this copper sulfate 2 grams in 100 ml of water, you dissolve it, you get your copper sulfate solution ready. And the third kind of solution that we will be looking into is solution of caustic soda. So, you take 10 gram of caustic soda, 10 gram. Then you add it in 100 ml of what? 100 ml of water. 10 gram of caustic soda, you add it in 100 ml of water, you dissolve it. You stir it nicely and you dissolve it. The remaining solution is your solution of caustic soda. Clear to you? So, we have prepared 3 solutions basically. What are those 3 solutions? Isn't it? You had dilute solution of iodine, copper sulfate solution, solution of caustic soda. So, we have prepared this and kept it aside. So, the next part that we will be looking into is test for carbohydrates. So, for this you have to know that carbohydrates are of 2 types. What are they? They are starch and sugar. So, important, mark it in the textbook as important. You have 2 types of carbohydrates, starch and sugar. Now, look into activity 2, page 9 and 10. So, you take your page 9, you can see here activity 2, test for starch. Test for starch. So, in test for starch, you will take 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. So, you see, I told you, no, we will be doing some test further in the chapter. So, for that we had already prepared your iodine solution. You remember, little half water in the test tube, you added 2 to 3 drops of tincture iodine and you got your dilute iodine solution ready. From that you take 2 to 3 drops. Then you take your raw ingredient or potato. What is this raw ingredient? Any uncooked food item, that is your raw ingredient. So, here we have taken a potato, cut it into half and the inner side is shown here. Clear to you? And that is your raw potato. Another way you can take is that you can take a clean test tube and take potato, mash it and put it in the test tube. So, what do? You take raw food item. Here we have taken potato. for test for starch. Raw potato, you cut it into half and kept it. The inner side is seen here. Or you took a test tube, you took a small portion of your raw potato, mash it nicely and add it in the test tube. Then what do you do? Either on the raw potato or your food item in this test tube, you add 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. So what happens here? Suppose you had taken this raw potato, cut it into half and then put, you can see blue black color. Was it present earlier? It was not present. So when you put 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution, what happened here? Blue black color appeared on the food item. What does this color change indicate? That starch is present. So this is an important, very important area. You have to read the text and study it thoroughly from it. I have, for the sake of explaining, I have drawn pictures and shown it to you. So once again, what do? You take raw potato or mashed food item, put 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution, you get your color change. What is the color change? Blue black. What does that color change indicate? Blue black, it indicates starch is present. So any food item you can take, add few drops of your dilute iodine solution. If you get blue black color, or if there is a color change of blue black, the food item contains starch. Now certain food items you take and you put this dilute iodine solution, you cannot see blue black color change on the food item. So what does that show? It shows that starch is not present where in that food item. Clear to you? So we will be dealing with this much for today. Please read through the textbook thoroughly, mark the important terms and study from it. Okay? Thank you, children.